Welcome to Herd Beginner Racing Band C. That's ZRS 225 to 300. Today's it's 3 laps of the electric loop. It's a flat course, perfect for the high wattage riders. This is my first time riding in Band C, just promoted last week. I have some concerns with this race. First of all, do I have the power to hang with Band C? What kind of average power are they going to have on these flats? Because you can be a heavy rider, 100 kilograms, 220 pounds, and your 2.2 watts per kilogram is going to be a much higher power outage than my 81 kilogram 2.2 watts. The only thing I can do is just hang on the back like I'm doing. I'm going to try and conserve as much energy as I can. I want to be the lowest wattage guy at the end of the race, but I also want to be with the finishers at the end of the race. Second thing I'm worried about is I expect a breakaway. Can I hang with the brake? Even if I don't have a sprint at the end, I want to at least try to hang with the brake. So we're going to have to see how this race plays out, whether I get the opportunity to sprint or not. And that's point 3. I'm a really good Band D sprinter. I have no idea how I'm going to do in Band C sprinting. Do I even have the legs to hang with these guys if it goes down to the sprint? We're going to find out. So most of the race went like this. We stayed bunched, which is perfect for me, but I'm going to be looking to have my average watts per kilogram over here on the right hand side. Try to keep that lower than anybody else's. I'm watching my draft up here in the top right. Want to keep that as high as possible. Make sure my W prime here stays fully loaded. And here we come to the first little incline, which is the opportune time to make a break if you're going to break for it. I don't expect anything on the first lap, but it's just a good test for what kind of pace everybody's holding. And like I said, it's pretty much going to be like this for the most of the race. So let's speed up this first lap and see what happens on the second. Little had made a slight push there at the top, which gave him some extra speed on the downhill. Pretty common on rollers. Hopefully by now, if you're racing this division, you're aware of that. Everybody caught him pretty quick. Then to kind of settle down, I mean, they're going 2 watts per kilogram, 2.5. We're seeing a little bit of the 3s. Nobody's going crazy, which really let me settle in and just rest, which I'm grateful for. We're assuming, like I said, this is just going to be a nice, steady, easy route. I'm kind of learning the course a little bit. I haven't ridden this in a while. I think the only little climb is what we just covered back there. Now here's another great place if you're going to do a push and attack, because there's so many turns back and forth that it's hard to tell that someone went off the front just by looking at the graphics. You really have to pay attention to the wattage going through there. Keep an eye on that, which I did through there, and nothing much happened. I don't really know how often the C's attack. In the Band D, there's hardly ever any attacks. We usually just all ride together, and it takes a hill to split up the group. I know Band A, there are a lot of attacks. Take this morning, I think there are almost 10 attacks on this course because it's being so flat, trying to get breakaways. It's typically a more advanced rider, knowing how to get away and stay away. And most of the Ds especially don't have it. I'm interested to see how the C racing band goes for a while and see if that's happening there. We're closing in on the first lap here, so now I'm getting used to what we're going to sprint through. It's going to obviously turn and a sprint for the finish. That I need to remember for the next couple of races or laps. Now we're into lap 2, trying to do the same thing. I really like my position. My wattage is staying much lower than everybody else's as far as I can tell. And right here, a little bit of a surprise. Simon's another herd guy. He attacks going through the sprint. Caught me off guard. I guess it caught everybody else off guard too. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for it, try and beat us on that climb that's coming up, but he actually just shut it down. I'm not positive what he was trying to do there. Maybe just wake us all up. But here we come on the climb. Like I said, it's an opportunity for attack, and now Simon has us spread out, so I'm far from the front. If anything goes on up the front, I'm really going to be hurting trying to catch that. So we slowed it down a bit. We're kind of watch what's going on. I see Little hit his feather, and then he starts hitting 4.8, 5, so that's an attack. I'm hoping somebody will close it down. I see Johansson going after it, but I don't see anybody else. And remember, I want to be in the front group. There goes Suarez after that, and so I figure I better go. These other 3 don't seem to be going very far, very strong. So I ended up passing Johansson here. He shut it down. Suarez is still going. I really want it, so I was pushing here 4. It's hurting me because, as I said, these guys have a little bit more power than I do. Once I get swarmed by the rest of the group, I back off, and I really hope that they chase it down because I realize if I chase it down, I will not have the legs to hang, and I'm just going to fall back anyway. But Little's off the front for a little bit. He's got 4 seconds on us. That is a concern. We've got a nice pace line. If we would take turns rotating through like a TTT, we'll certainly catch him. It's too far out for him to go solo, but he's now stretched it out to 5 seconds. And I'm thinking I better just hang on to this group here at this moment. No sense trying to get up there and then completely blowing up and dropping off the back. I'm a bit disappointed to see that break. I was really hoping I would hang with it. We're at 6 seconds now. Suarez trying to close that at 3. Now it's up to 7. I'm really watching those numbers and trying to figure out what this group in front of me is going to do. I need help. We're at 8. But I'm not pushing that hard. Nobody seems to be concerned. I'm starting to think they may get away with this. If Little waits for Suarez and then they start working together, it's going to be big trouble. We're now at 9 and 6. We'll speed this up a little bit, but at the moment we're in big trouble. If this gap stays away, spots 1 and 2 finishing are gone. The gap extends and drifts back. So I'm just riding with these guys. If they want to make a good push, I'll go with them. We're coming into the arcade. Now is someone else going to push and try and catch up to Little? It looks like the gap's starting to fade. See 3, 2 seconds, 2, 1. All right, now I'm feeling pretty good. We're probably going to close this gap down. But it did give me quite a scare. I don't know if they didn't have the legs to stay away or if they just figured it was too far. And I don't know if Little was just testing the group too, because he was pretty quiet, and then he put on this power. He's still out hanging out there a little bit, but I'm quite happy with that. He's running 3, 3 2s, 3 4, and out in the wind. And I'm sitting here running 2, 1 7. I have to hit 3 a few times to catch up. Here's the other thing I'm doing. If you're looking at my RPMs on the top left, I'm trying to stay at 100. I am definitely an aerobic guy. Back from my running days in the 90s, they say you have a certain amount of red muscle cells and white muscle cells, and you can't increase that quantity, but you can improve what you've got. And I've always been an endurance guy, so I'm trying to keep my RPMs high and work on my endurance muscles and save my anaerobic sprint muscles for later. So most of this race I'm trying to stay at about 100, at least over 90 for sure, and just let my aerobic endurance help me hang with these guys. So now we're beginning to close that gap. I'm happy with everything I'm seeing. We're back together pretty much, and now we're also finishing up lap 2, 1 lap to go. So was that a precursor to what's going to happen on the 3rd lap? Let me speed it up and we'll see what happens there. Coming through the finish line, it's just another good chance to observe what's going on, where everything is, trying to figure out where the distances are going to be for the sprint. I'm quite happy to have the arrow. I'm actually going to hold that all the way to the line. If this will hold, there's the opportunity for a sprint, and I'll need every advantage I can get. I'm still running pretty well at around 2. My heart rate's running 163, which is great. That means I'm just in the threshold. 175, 180 means I'm working it. Here we are at the incline again. I moved to the front in case there's an attack because I want to be closer this time, and there actually wasn't. I was really surprised. I thought someone was definitely going to make an attack here, showing how easy it was to get away from us on the last lap. But I'm happy. Now I'm just counting kilometers going down, because if I can hang with this group, I am very pleased. We're at 6. I'm holding okay. I'm still staying around my 1.525. I am tired. I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm really, again, focused on staying in the aerobic side if I can, but I feel like I'm in between gears. I keep dropping down 90, 110, 90, 110 as I'm flip-flopping back and forth. Right here, arcade. Anybody making a move? There was a move by Johansson. He put some wattage down trying to get away, it looks like, and I couldn't let that happen. I actually chased him down and brought the group with me. Probably not the wisest move. I definitely burned a match there. I probably should have let the other group take it, but so close to the finish line, I didn't want to let him get away. Now we're closing in at 2.5K. We'll slow down and see what happens on the ending here. I'm actually nervous. 2.4 heading into the finish. Anybody can make an attack. I can't go from this far out. Trying to watch that very closely. Everybody's bunched. Little, I got to keep an eye on him. He already showed he had some power. Is anybody going to make a long distance attack? Now at 2, 1.5, that's really going to be hard on me if they do it. We're so far bunched. Everybody's happy. 1.8. I'm really just counting every kilometer down here, watching this, trying to stay ready, telling myself mentally that I just got to go. I got to give it my all when someone goes off, because I cannot shut this thing down even though everything's hurting right now. I'm really feeling the effects of this race. We're at 1.5. I'm feeling it's definitely a sprint. No one seems to be wanting to go off at this point. The question is, where do these guys sprint from? The D's like to sprint from 300, so if I go at 4, that gives me the opportunity to get a jump on them. But I don't know where these band C guys go from. 1.2, we're seeing 3 on the wattage, so we're still looking okay. Someone's pushing 4 a little bit. Doesn't look like anything to worry about yet. 1K, it's starting to stretch out as we're seeing a pickup there by Coultier. He's hitting 4s. Simon's going with him. All right, that was the attack. Coultier's going, strung out the rest of us. I'm at the back. Normally I'm happy being at the back as long as a gap doesn't form. Again, this is C. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just trying to hang, and then there's the gap forming. And at this point, I realize I'm in trouble because I've got to have to really go hard to close that gap, and I don't think I have much in me. I'm doing what I can, and then it just explodes wide open. Look a little, and Suarez take off the front. I'm trying to close this gap down. Can I catch Johansson? Coultier got caught. I'm close, and like everybody else who loses a race, I have to say that if there's a little bit more meters left, I would have caught him. Anyhow, didn't, and that's racing. Suarez, great job on number 1, Little 2, Coultier 3rd, Johansson 4th, came in 5th, but had the low wattage, right behind Bucheman, who actually had the lowest wattage for the race. Simon coming in 6th, and Bucheman 7th. So it's pretty much a group finish with a sprint. Normally I like sprints, but I did not sprint well with this group. Definitely beaten by these C's. Great race, everybody. Hope everybody has a good race next week. I will be out of town. I will not be able to participate in any races, and I will be back a week after that.